go time. Thursday, 4 p.m. It's drawing time. Another hot intro. It's Marc Choice in the afternoon. Working title? How is everyone? Are there people out there? Do I sound okay? I fiddled with the settings again. So if I don't sound good, let me know. Creaky chair. Thank you to Scrivo for following. We've got 6 to go. 6 followers. Until I get the big 5. Oh, let's get these 50 followers. Please. We've got Gav in the chat, we've got Sam in the chat, we've got James in the chat. It's the lads. It's lad o'clock. I sound good apparently. That's good. There is some never-ending building work going on outside, so I don't think you can hear that. I think the mic is... I'll need to screen to mouth rather than outside. That's a weird sentence. What am I drawing today? I am drawing some Noonan. I did a lot of writing this morning. I have a little writing job at the moment, which is nice. And it was fun to do that for the morning, get the breakdown started. So yeah, let's just check the CPU is fine. Let's try a zoom. Yeah, not much delay. Cool. So it's a really detailed page today. This is page 6 of 10. Tea is hot. Hot tea. It is a detailed page. I won't get all of it done, but I have been working slightly later the past few days just to try and get as much work done as I possibly can, which I don't like doing. Normally it's pens down at 7, but I was 9, 10 yesterday. So yeah, let's get going on this. Let's make sure my settings are right. Yeah, cool. Oh, Gav, I gave you mod settings so you can be a mod. Just in case there's something I miss. Question time from Sam. What's the difference between blue and red pencil for you? Often it's to bring out something that I might not see, because I am mainly just drawing blue pencil. So say I've drawn a piece and I've done it like super detailed, but I'm so in the zone that I know I need to bring out a little bit more. You'll notice, do I have, can I take rid of those blue, reds, I've done it all on one layer. Professional. It's just so I can, like, I don't know, see a character more or something. It acts as a highlighter. There are some times when there's 3 to 4 colours on a page because I've just gone nuts. And I can't really see anything. it has been nice to do some writing, but I have been getting a little bit not sad. Sad implies a stronger emotion than it is. Um, I have the pool of drawing and working on Chloe Noonan has been so great that if I do anything else, it kind of feels a little bit, I don't know, like it's taking me away from my one true calling. It's the gloomy Gus himself. 1999. Were you born in 1999, Gloomy Gus? Johnny, I can't pronounce the surname of that one. Bogdanov? Bogdanovi? Who is John Bogdanovi? I want to say John Bonamassa because my dad's a big fan, but I don't think that's technically right. If he was a DC artist, then I'm not going to know who he is. Bogdanov. Who is he? Was he a DC artist? I keep forgetting to mute that mic. Sorry. I know we've got a couple of comic makers in the chat, so how has everyone's comic making week been going? If, like me, you can't believe it's Thursday, is there a pre-weekend panic about to settle in? Are you going to have to forego any clapping tonight? Because you're just going to have to get your pages done. Ah, congratulations, Sam, for signing with a publisher. That's great. Is that for comics? Ah, and the infamous drink and draws. Yeah, I would like to join the drink and draws that you guys do, but I think because they happen on Thursday, and by the end of this stream, I'm knackered. But I would like to. I'd like to do them at some point. They do look like a lot of fun. Hello to John in the chat. Good to see you. Johnny's got all his pages done like a true jobber. They are nice looking pages as well. Johnny Job has been sending me pages. I've just been sending him covers this week. Thanks for Rip Burpsaw for the follow. What's that now? 5 to go? Can we get the 50 by the end of the stream? Is there a raid I can do? I don't know. Do I have to text Robin to get me like 5 new Twitch accounts? I've got to remember because this scene is such highly detailed that I have to remember to not ink these characters too thin, otherwise it's just gonna be a big one-line mess. The problem with drawing digitally is that I sometimes forget about the infinite zoom. That's why I try and print everything out afterwards to see what I've either, I don't know, done at a wrong weight length or something, line weight or something. Will I remember to mute the mic? I have to change hands. No, it's too dangerous. There, see, you can, it's the gulp. Essentially, I've got everything on my right-hand side. I've got all the leads going into my Mac, my T, and my little Wacom. So I'm going to move the T. There we go. Yeah, Sam mentions in the chat that someone tried to impersonate me to try and get in on this guy's drink and draw stream. It was wild. Sam, did you think that they knew who I was? Because that would be weird. Am I going to get doxxed? Thanks to 1988 Griff number 2 for the follow. It's not a real follow though, is it, James? That was a help follow. Thank you kindly though, but yeah, don't max out your emails. I want legit followers. I want to be Twitch famous. Here's a question for the chat. Do you guys watch any other drawing streams? Essentially, because I'm trying to think of a way to, I don't know, max out the stream? I don't know. Try and get some other ideas. I think I keep losing the chat as well. Let me open up the other window. Yeah, I was just wondering because, like, I've sort of like I used to watch Drawfee live streams until they until essentially Drawfee got sold off in the College Humour firings recently. I think some of their after hours streams would have like music under them and stuff, so I don't know. I was raiding a music, like a video game music website earlier. Because it can be a bit quiet on here, and I wonder if someone, because I can't play music because I get taken down, but I was wondering, oh, maybe I could play just video game music in the background. But that might be annoying, I don't know. I don't know, maybe people like the quiet. If they can put something else on at the same time, who knows. Rip Burp Shaw. I keep saying it wrong. Rip Burst. Why does this keep tripping me up? Rip Burp Saw. Let's call you Burpees. Burpees in the chat asks, how long does it take to complete one page? It depends. A page like this, which is quite detailed, let's see if I can show it all off. That will probably take me 2-3 hours, I think, maybe, on the inks. Cheers, Sam. Cheers for joining us. Sorry to hear your baby has pooped for all eternity. Take care. Yeah, this is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, about 2-3 hours is probably about right for inks. Maybe another couple of hours for the pencils. I used to be able to do Rick and Morty pages. I used to get like maybe 2 or 3 done a day. I don't know what was going on. Maybe it was out of necessity. Johnny likes the music-free streams. Well, that's all I needed. It is really hard to find royalty-free scrams. So, you've dodged that particular screamo bullet. Although, speaking of belligerent noise, the new Chelsea Wolfe single, she's teamed up with a drummer, I think it's a touring drummer, and they've formed a band called Mrs. Piss. And the lead single is quite good. I like Chelsea Wolfe. She has like the right level of like drone goth. But yeah, Mrs. Piss. I thought that was a great name. Because it sounds like the sort of name that you would come up with if you were, like, say, drawing a comic. Trying to think what else I've been listening to recently. I was really looking forward to the Kariki album, which was Ian Mackay's new band, with Joe from Fugazi and Amy Evans from... Is it Amy Evans? Amy Farina? They were in the Evans together. But that first single was great, really good, and now it's been pushed back because of the plague. I think Amy was in the Warmers, maybe, another Discord band, or Washington band at least. Johnny asks if I read Little Bird yet. I haven't. I've heard good things about it though. Johnny, have you read it? I'm not quite sure what I had the dog doing here. I think I had the dog scratching itself. Johnny reckons the Little Bird is going to be an Eisner winner. Wow. Alright for some. Where's my dang Eisner? I've been at this for a decade now. I've drawn at least some good comic pages. Little Bird apparently is very Mobius, but a more interesting story, very well written. Well, I've not read any Mobius. I've got... Do I have an art book by him? I think I've got something. I've definitely got some trading cards. But yeah. I sometimes find that type of oblique sci-fi, I don't know, a little bit hard to access. Hard to pull me in. No, this looks mad. The dog can be doing something else. Ooh, Johnny mentioned Seth Fisher. Little Bird has a super level of detail in that Seth Fisher way, but a very different style. Um, my first Seth Fisher book was that. Oh, was it Vertigo Pop? They did Tokyo, didn't they? Man, I remember picking that up in floppy single issues. What an absolute treat for the eyes. Such an incredible artist. It's just so sad that he's gone. Like I can't remember when he died, but God no, it must have been what, about 5 years ago. He did a bunch of like DC stuff, I think, afterwards, like some Flash and Batman thing. But I always wondered, like if he was able to do what he wanted, what would that look like? Oh, 2006. God, that's ages ago. 2006 just feels like yesterday. It feels like last week, but was I working in comics then, or had I just started? Maybe. That's not a thread that I want to pull. I don't think. Am I old? Yes, I'm old. Oh yeah, he did a Fantastic Four thing. Yeah. I probably need to get them. I probably need to stop buying Savage Dragon back issues and try and find them. Oh, excuse me. Oh yeah, did any self-employed people go for their grant today? Happy Grant Day. What a surprisingly easy process that was. Did I hear that the Lakes is going digital only this year? Like they're going to do like some online convention instead? Because that's in like late October. I know they sort of jumped on Fort Bubbles coattails a little, but oh, it is very nice to spend the afternoon inking after a day of writing, or morning of writing. Trying to break it down into beats at the moment, so like just trying to find the rhythm of the story before I start like working out panels and stuff. I'm not sure how much of a script I've got to write, but I probably have to write a full script, which is just tedious. Because if I'm the one drawing it, I don't need to write a full script. But you got to explain to other people what you're doing, I guess. I was thinking about what to do with this Noonan story afterwards. So it'll go up on my Patreon for a little while, maybe a week. Then it'll end up somewhere else. Probably on ChloeNoonan.com afterwards. But I was like, what do I do afterwards? After that? It's only 10 pages. I think I've been really hungry to get a mini comic out at the moment, but I haven't got enough. I haven't got enough work to do it. I keep thinking about doing a print collection of all the old stuff because it never came out as a colour edition. Like a big fat trade, but part of me doesn't want that stuff out there in the world. They're not the best drawings. I've got a plan for another story, like to start as soon as this one's done. That's going to be a 30-pager, so I could probably just hold out till then. But yeah, it's nice to get the hunger back. It's interesting that it's slightly similar to how I first started out, like going back to doing mini comics and stuff. There's a Kickstarter for Jim Rugg's new comic, Octobriana. I think that's how you say it. He's doing a blacklight coloured comic. Essentially, it's very fluorescent coloured inks, and he's smashed it. I think it's $28,000 at the moment, on a target of 5. Look, it's not always about money, but like, it was quite interesting to see. Because Jim's great. Jim's one of my favourite comic book artists, but I don't think he has a particularly large following, and he didn't tweet about it for like sort of 4 or 5 days, and then like he smashed the target straight away. It was just word of mouth. Yeah, okay. I remember talking to Zainab, who does Shortbox at Thought Bubble, and she was encouraging me to do crowdfunding. Because I used to think that, like, if you didn't have a publisher, then you were worthless. Which I don't know if I agree with anymore. Like getting a publisher was like my one biggest goal for so long. Not because they take care of everything, but it was like the stamp of approval which I thought I needed. I've only ever pitched a couple of times. I think I've pitched 3 times. Once was Noonan at Self-Made Hero because I asked for a pitch, so I gave them that, and then they said it was too funny. And I was like, all right, okay. Just keep putting out really boring books, Self-Made Hero. Just keep putting out books that no one likes or cares about. Then I pitched a Doctor Who thing because Titan asked for a pitch, and they really liked it. And then the BBC thought that we were trying to get one up on over them. I think because it was about the ponds, and the Doctor Who license is strange because I think Moffat owns the ponds, Amy and Rory. And I think the BBC thought that we were trying to get them or something. I don't know, it was wild. So that didn't go through, and in hindsight, good, because it wasn't very good. Like, it was a fun premise. The premise essentially was that, like, I used to do these Doctor Who comics where they are like a sitcom. It's like a family sitcom setup. So they all kind of live in the same house. Amy, Rory, Doctor, River Song. You can read them at my website because I put them all up on there. And the idea for this comic was that they're at a car boot sale and they bring back some alien artifact that locks them in the house. Apart from Rory. And they have to essentially get out. And they're like getting on each other's nerves in classic sitcom style. But I don't think it was very timey-wimey enough. So whereas it was a bummer I didn't get to do that because Titan liked it. I just, looking back at it, I think it needed another 3 or 4 goes. There was one point where the postman couldn't deliver the post because this alien artifact had sealed off the house, so nothing could go in or out. So the letters were just like bouncing back, and he was like, "The post must be delivered." And I think at one point there was like maybe like 20 postmen or something just trying to get the post delivered. They were fun. You know what? Those Doctor Who comics were a lot of fun to do back in the day. I read them recently when I was redoing my website. And I don't know if you should admit that your work made you laugh, but they were pretty chucklesome. There's a running joke about Amy Pond's shed keep getting destroyed. Yes, I think that was such a good training ground for the Rick and Morty stuff. What were we talking about? Talking about pitches, weren't we? Yeah, and there was a third pitch I did, and it got accepted quite recently, so good. But yeah, I don't like the idea of pitching. I think people just think I'm crap, so what's the point? I'll tell you what is not fun to draw is this drone. Um, I don't regret putting the drone in because it's quite funny, but I'm quite bored of drawing that. Does anyone have any fun plans this weekend? The chat's a bit quiet today. I think it's a weird week. Whatever your plans are, I hope you are staying alert. What are my plans? My plans to draw more Chloe Noonan comics. Although Robin's been gardening, we've got a little balcony and we've started growing bits and bobs out there. So, not much because there's not much room to move about, but yeah. It's been quite nice to do. I'll tell you what, on these streams it's really interesting how fast the time goes. Like it's been nearly an hour and I'm like, have I drawn an hour's worth of inks? It doesn't feel like it. It feels like maybe 20 minutes at most. The hair's a bit too wavy. Gab is growing some rhubarb. Nice. What are we growing? We are growing carrots, beetroot, sweet peas, strawberries, tomatoes, courgettes. This is a test. This is a test if I've been paying attention. Did I say beetroot? Literally, there's plants bloody everywhere. We're not certain it's going to work, but it's not about it working. It's about us having a nice time. Yeah, I'll draw that flipping drone and then I'll move on to some backgrounds. Backgrounds aren't the most fun thing to draw though, but they're a necessity. There is some mad ass drilling, cutting stuff down going on outside, so apologies for if you guys can hear that. We live in a street that has suddenly popped up about 4 like bundles of scaffolding everywhere. It's like the sun's come out and everyone's just gone, it's time to drill and do roofs. Yeah, Johnny says I need some mangaka assistants to do the drone. Yeah, the drone. You know what? What would I get my assistants to do? Definitely the drone, because who wants to draw that over and over again? See, I was going to say backgrounds, but I think backgrounds are like, I don't know, an important part of an artist's toolbox. But are they fun to draw? What did Brian O'Malley have towards the end of Scott Pilgrim? He had a couple, didn't he? He had one doing backgrounds, and I think he had an assistant who was drawing essentially props. And maybe like all the Ramonas that pop up. That final volume is wild in how it just looks a bit different to everything else. Hello, Liam, in the chat. Yeah, I have that mini comic. Jason Fisher, isn't it? I think that's the guy, Jay Fish. Yeah, it was Jason Fisher. Yeah, which is weird because there used to be a art message board that Corey Lewis had set up called Ginger Box, and it was like all those guys were on there. James Stoker was on there. Brandon Graham was on there. Brian O'Malley was on there. Lars Brown, who did Northworld. Essentially, everyone who did like an Oni book was essentially on there. I think Jay Fish was on there as well, and I never saw he started something similar to Brian's. I think Seconds looks a lot better than Scott Pilgrim 6. Because I remember posting on that Gingerbox forum and just being like totally embarrassed about my shitty art. I mean, that's when I realised I had to practice being dynamic a bit more. I couldn't wing it, like, I don't know, like, because Corey Lewis, when he draws, it just looks like a freaking like anime, in the best sense. Disjointed limbs and everything, wild ass angles. Whenever I would do it, it just looks really like cardboardy. Thanks to Robert for the follow. Free to go. Free to go. Can I go find some people in the street to follow me? If you haven't smashed that follow button, give it a go. I will attempt to read out your username and then do a poor job of it. What's everyone's working situation like? Are you guys still working from home? Or have you had the back to work order? Oh no. Rip Bepsor, I am working from home at the moment, but Wisconsin Supreme Court just declared the safer at home order illegal. What is going on? Whoa, that's terrible. Flip me, like... I thought Britain was handling COVID badly. Like, for what seemed like a month, our blonde hair in chief just told everyone to wash their hands to happy birthday twice. But then, Jesus Christ, you look at America and it's like, what did I see yesterday? It's like they've just decided COVID is gone. Man, I hope you are safe and well. That's a tough deal. Cool. Well, I've drawn all the fun stuff now. I've got to draw backgrounds. Page 6. Yeah. Okay. Did anyone see the Paper Mario announcement? The Origami Kingdom, I think it's called. It looks charming AF. What a delightful little game that looks. Although I do wonder if it looks a bit too much like Yoshi's Crafted World, which I played a demo of, when that looks really charming, but I don't want to pay 50 quid for it. Then never picked up, because I heard it was like proper, like kiddie-ish. Oh, Gab, you should get yourself a Switch. Or a PlayStation 5, because that looked incredible, that tech demo yesterday. I was like, oh, cool, that's what graphics look like. So, yeah, no, I do love my Switch, but with a do sometimes. I like that it's it holds its own with its limitations. Emu Cosmo, smashing that follow button. 2 to go. 2! I actually feel like it's going to happen. What do you reckon? We get to 50 followers and they quit. That's it. No, no more streams. I'm done. I'm out. Actually, I'll leave that background in just in case. What the Switch does need is a new WarioWare game. A game of, like, pure belligerent chaos. You have 4 seconds to learn this game. Go. I think there was a WarioWare game on the Doodah, what's it called? The DS? 3DS, that's it. That's like one of the like final games. Is that right? That looks a bit off to me. Yeah, that looks a bit off. Yeah, man. I want 2 more followers and I can take your dang Prime subs. Give me that money, Bezos, but also pay your staff a living wage and maybe don't put people on furlough when you're a literal trillionaire. I try not to rant. But yeah, like my Facebook fan page, I get like so many notifications on there at the moment saying you could reach all your fans by giving us £20. Do you need that? Does Zuckerberg need that? How you doing, Jakey? I do wonder about my background sometimes. They are, I don't know, I keep the post correction up to max, so I get a nice straight line. But I wonder if that makes it look like it's got less personality. I don't know. Think a lot about Jonathan Edwards' backgrounds and landscapes, and just how like full of like character they are, and how it looks like his drawings. There was a really good interview with Jonathan in The Guardian recently. If you like reading what illustrators say. He talks a lot about his travel diaries and stuff. It's cool to hear, Jake, about you streaming, possibly. Is that drawing or is that game stuff? Game stuff. Sorry. Old dad. .3D modelling stuff, cool. Oh, that'd be really interesting to see, man. Oh dang man, that sounds really interesting. Yeah, I'd like to check that out. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what these lines are. That's the frame. Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah, right. That's fine. So that's there. Yeah, thanks, Jakey. Yeah, I'm pleased with this page. Let's see what it's looking like. Not bad. Those 2 lines I just did were rubbish, so let's get rid of them. Yeah, it's gonna. I think it's gonna take me. I don't know. Not all night, but this is definitely the toughest page out of the comic, so I don't mind spending a bit more time on it. I've been trying not to work late into the evenings, but I think I'm gonna have to. I nearly did a stream last night, like an after-hours stream. But decided I'd probably get too distracted and I needed to concentrate. I find it, I don't know, I know I talk about like getting distracted by the chat a little bit, but I find with streaming it stops me going on my phone. You joke about Fortnite, Jake, but I did put. Oh god, I didn't put a lot of hours into that game, but I think it was more than a 30-year-old should. Okay, 5:30. I'll go through till 6, so another half an hour. I'm going to try something. That bush looked a bit weird, so I'm going to... Yeah, I think that'll look better, but I need to edit that maybe off screen a little bit because it's a bit boring. Let's try... let's go for these buildings for the last little bit. Jakey asks if I'll ever go to America to do a convention. Well, I get invited to a few international shows, and then I don't know. I get worried about it, or I don't know why. I got a bit funny when Trump became president because of the immigration stuff. Went a little bit nuts. No, it's not immigration, but visas. I heard a few scary stories about people like doing conventions who didn't have maybe a working visa. Which is just not something I've ever thought about before. I'd like to. I don't think anyone's doing any conventions until 2021 now. I can't see another convention happening until next year now. I kind of felt like, I don't know, because I'd like to go to these places, but I'd like to go there with Robin, and it just felt a bit, I don't know, mean if I was going without her. I don't know. Only don't ask me anymore. I think they asked me maybe once or twice, and I got a bit like, oh, I too much work to do, deadlines, and yeah, no, don't get asked. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I enjoy conventions. I think about this a lot. Conventions are such an important part of my income that not doing them isn't an option. But I'm not sure I necessarily enjoy the experience. Yeah, I can't see MCM happening, Gav, at all. Like, every other Reed Pop show in the world has been cancelled. Like, flipping San Diego Comic Con's been cancelled. And but no, not MCM London. That's still still on the cards. I did see a bit in the government guidelines the other day about events that are. I think they. What was the phrasing they used? Let me see if I highlight. I think I took a screenshot. It was a bit. That was it. Yeah, some venues which are by design crowded and where it may prove difficult to enact distancing may still not be able to reopen safely at this point. They're talking about that in July, so I can't see that happening. Jakey, you bring up a very good point about PAX. I was quite tempted to go to, is it EGX over here? The Eurogamer Expo thingamajiggy? Just for fun. I think I like the idea of going as a punter more than as a exhibitor. I do go to a lot of, I say a lot, I go to a comic mart in London just as a punter. Dive through old back issues and stuff. Oh, cool, man. Yeah, if EGX is happening, again, I can't see it happening. I will. I'd like to come. Oh, so exciting that your game's getting out there. That's such a long time coming. There's a tangent there, which has annoyed me. You know what? I'm just not going to fill the line. Don't care. Everything's going to return back to normal at some point, though. So, but yeah, I do wonder about conventions, just what they're going to look like afterwards. Hi, Rob. Yeah, I've got a 10-minute delay on the chat, so if people are if people want to get in on the chat, they've got to hit that follow button. We are about 15 minutes away from the end of the stream. It's been a fun one. Thank you for joining and keeping me company. They are still a thing I will carry on doing. Rob, yeah, this is from my new 10-page story. So this is page 6 of 10. It will go up on my Patreon first, and then it will be unleashed maybe a week later. Future Noonan stories will be a little bit more behind the paywall for longer. But this story is about COVID, so yeah, time is of the essence, as it were. So my hope is to... That is the wrong angle on all of that. My hope is to have... Sorry, my hope is to go straight into a new story immediately after finishing this. So once this 10-pager is done, I'll do a 30-pager, and then that will be hopefully collected into a little mini-comic. And maybe I'll put this 10-pager in the back of that. And I think shove the link to the Patreon in the chat. Rob says, I bought the Chloe Noonan omnibus lately, still waiting for time to read it, but I'm really excited for it. Wanted to read this for a long time, mostly because of the hype. Made by John Jobber Allison, the outlaw himself. Yeah, John has been the the lone cheerleader, I think, in getting me going on the Noonan stuff. I think because he was drawing so many horrible pictures of her, like having her like decapitate and disembowel monsters. I was like, I need to put a stop to this. I need to get the canon back. She's T for teen. See, John's such an outlaw cartoonist, he can't be tamed. John was in the chat a while back. I think he's gone to listen to Radio 1, which is what he does now. Jakey asks, would I ever want someone to talk to about writing and plot and stuff? I don't mind talking about that stuff on stream. I have a few people I talk to about that stuff already. I'm still incredibly nervous about sharing my story stuff. I feel like writing is still my weakest point. Oh, I'm getting better. The writing I did today was quite good. even though it's just breakdown, essentially like this is going to happen in this quarter of the comic, then this is going to happen in the next bit. And then as I'm working all that out, kind of figuring out what needs to happen or what like additional parts need to happen. Like you need to introduce the main character on page 1 and you haven't yet. Stuff like that. And the A plot and the B plot need to intersect here. That stuff's fun. I like the figuring stuff out. Oh, cool. I've not thought about releasing high-res stuff for people to colour. There is one image which I drew quite recently, which I was quite open to see examples of. You know what? I should do that. I might look into that, Rob. I get a bit what's the word I'm looking for? Nervous about that stuff because although it's just for fun, I don't know. People should be paid for their work, but yeah, if I'm not going to print it, that should be fine. I'm working with a colourist at the moment, and he's handed a cover in, which is flipping brilliant. I think I was talking about this a few days ago, how about with my drawings, it used to get to the stage where I wasn't happy until I penciled it, and then that changed to me being happy with the inks. That window's bad. And then it changed to I wasn't happy until I saw the colours, and then it changed to I wasn't happy until I saw it in print. Such a little emo sometimes. Not bad. Not bad. There's some stuff that needs editing, but it's not a bad attempt. Backgrounds are something I still need a bit of work on. I have essentially just been drawing Rick and Morty backgrounds for 5 years, so I need to shake that habit a little bit. Cool. Wow, that's going to do it for us, I reckon. If you've not smashed that follow button, this is your final warning. Can 2 people take me out of this misery? Honestly, thank you for joining me on this twice weekly stream. I will be back on Tuesday at 4 p.m. With another Chloe Noonan stream, unless I finish over the weekend. I can't see that happening. If you are a member of my Patreon, there will be a Patreon exclusive stream on the 24th of May, which is a Sunday. You will find details if you are a Patreon subscriber at the $5 a month level at patreon.com/Marc Ellaby. You can also follow me on all the socials. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I am not on Bebo. I am at Marc Ellaby on all those platforms. I hope that you all have a very good, safe weekend. Stay alert. And I will be back on Tuesday at 4 p.m. So long. Need to press the button.